Today we're installing a aFe turbo wastegate. This is part number 46-60069. This fits the 94 to 02 trucks. It does not fit the trucks with the HY35 model turbo. That's your 2000, 2001, and 2002 automatic trucks. So what we did with this turbo, or what we did for this install video, is we got a turbo that we had in our core pile just to show you how the wastegate actually fits on, and we decided it would probably be a good idea to show you how wastegates are set up on these turbos. Now what we've done is we've taken just a regular boost pressure gauge. You can use any air pressure gauge, and we regulated our air compressor down to about 35 psi. Now the opening pressure of these turbos can be set differently, but 30 to 35 pounds is normally where you're going to be. Now we regulated down our air pressure, and we actually turned it down to almost about 20 pounds to show you what this wastegate was doing. Okay, at 20 pounds, this wastegate on this turbo, you can see, will actually begin to creep, actually begin to move. Now it doesn't open all the way, but it actually begins to move. That's what a wastegate does. A wastegate will divert your turbine gases away from the turbine, and what that does is that lowers your boost pressure, and it lowers the rotational speed of the turbo. Now this wastegate starting to creep at 20 pounds, that's going to cost us some power in the trucks. Now if you've got a truck that you've head studded and you're looking for a little bit more boost and you're going to stay in the stock Charger, this is going to be the perfect way for you to go. So removal of the wastegate's very easy. First thing you want to do is you want to pop the C-clip off of the wastegate itself, the wastegate rod itself. Just a flat tip screwdriver to do that. And be careful with it because it'll go flying. Okay. And two nuts that actually hold the wastegate on itself. I'm just using an 11 metric to get in here. Okay, now to remove the gate itself, you just want to pop the rod off of the wastegate. Okay, and then just remove the wastegate. Now installation is the same as removal. You can see your wastegate in the back of the housing there, how that lets your gases divert off the turbine. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to reset up my air compressor to give me a little bit more air pressure, because we're going to set this for opening pressure about 40 psi. You know, we're going to set this up like it's going on a truck. It's got good head gasket, no head gasket issues, studs, and it can handle the amount of boost pressure that we're going to be throwing at. That's very important. Don't throw this wastegate, don't start adjusting wastegate pressures on a bone stock truck that's got 100,000 miles on it that you've never done anything to, and you've got a big fueling box, and you're going to be running big boost pressures. You want to make sure that you have everything in your top end taken care of to be able to handle the boost pressure. So now we're going to reset up our air compressor and then install our aFe wastegate. Okay, so now we're installing our aFe wastegate. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to mock up our wastegate itself. We're going to put it back inside of the original mounting position, and we're going to pull our wastegate closed. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to turn our turnbuckle in. This jam nut is a 10 metric. We just loosen that, and then the turnbuckle moves freely. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to adjust our turnbuckle out until it just engages the wastegate itself, the wastegate actuator itself, pretty freely. I mean, it just slides on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our mounting nuts, and you use your original hardware back, 11 metric, and I'm going to tighten this down just a fuzz. Okay. And that still engages pretty freely. So now, in setting up this wastegate, we want this set up for about an opening pressure of 40 psi. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this turnbuckle in 6 complete turns. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you'll notice now that your turnbuckle is a little bit shorter. So this is going to be set for about 40 psi. I'm going to put another nut on here just to snug it. And we've reset up our air compressor for about 40 psi pressure. I'll let you see that. So about 40 psi opening pressure. And what we're going to do is put a little bit of pressure on our wastegate, and that'll let it hook onto our actual wastegate actuator, or our wastegate itself. Alright, now don't set your maximum you're going to want to set your wastegate up for is about 50 psi. So that's got everything hooked up there. We're going to go ahead and tighten down our bolts or nuts. Okay, take our 10 metric jam nut, set it, reinstall our E-clip or C-clip. Okay. Now we want to check our wastegate. And about 40 psi, we can start to see our creep in there, and that's what we want. Again, our opening pressure now 40 psi. And you can see at 40 psi, we start to get a little bit of wastegate creep there. So anything above 40, we're going to have even better actuation of the wastegate, so we don't overspeed the turbo. Now, in our kit, they give us a new piece of hose that will go right back to the face of the turbo, and then over to our wastegate. We'll want to cut that a little bit shorter, and then you will receive 2 new hose clamps to install it. So we'll cut this a little bit shorter and install this, and that concludes our installation of aFe Wastegate, part number 4660069. Again, this is for the 94 to 02 Dodge trucks. It will not fit the Dodge 24 valve applications with the HY 35 turbo, the 2000, 2001, and 2002s. Thank you.